As Ethereum's prices continue to fall, many crypto investors, including yourselves, have sent me messages and questions wondering whether or not it's even worth holding ETH at this point. Should we just sell it? Is it dead? I mean, what is the current state of Ethereum? And so today what I wanted to do is make an entire video dedicated to my current thoughts and plan revolving around ETH. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tyler Hill. I am one of the co-founders of the Crypto Strategy School, one of the biggest schools in crypto, and I post here every single day, keeping you all updated as to what's happening in the crypto market. And today what we're going to do is we're going to first and foremost kind of start off looking at what's been happening with ETH. I'm then going to go over why its price is falling. I'm then going to talk about what my current plan is for Ethereum and why I'm not buying anymore and what I'm expecting from the future. And so look, we have a good bit to get into today, so let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, if we just start off on Twitter, typing in Ethereum, you can kind of see the general sentiment revolving around ETH. It's just not good. ETH's price has been falling. Many crypto investors are losing a ton of money. They're jumping ship. They're abandoning it. And honestly, it's just consistently been this way for weeks and weeks and weeks. If we look at Ethereum's price as a whole, you can kind of see the overall performance that it's given us, especially in 2025. It's really just not been good. Starting the year roughly around $3,900 to $4,000. Or it's around December of $3,900 to $4,000. Since then, it's fallen absolutely fast. It's so fast how fast it's fallen, down roughly 55% just within the last couple months. Now, many people, realistically don't even know why this is happening. They see ETH's price falling. They see how annoyed everyone is with it, how upset they are with it. But most people don't actually understand or recognize why ETH's price has been falling like it has been. And so that's kind of where I want to start off here. Okay. Now, I'm under the belief that there are 4 key reasons as to why we've been seeing Ethereum's price just absolutely nuking as it has and just not performing well. Now, reason number 1 comes down to competition. What you have to understand is that realistically, guys, 2025's landscape for especially the DeFi space and altcoin space is completely different than it has been in history. In 2025, there are dozens of crypto companies that are capable of not only just replicating ETH's technology, but creating a better version of it. Now, this is a natural thing. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Ethereum because this is the case, because the reality is Ethereum laid the foundation for companies to then understand what works and make what ETH did even better. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but from a market share perspective, now that people are capable of replicating and making better what ETH's done, it's going to take away market share from ETH, and it's not going to be able to see the same sort of performance that it was capable of seeing throughout history, and leaving us with a price that doesn't look so good. Now, in addition to that, we've also seen self-fueled competition. One of the biggest mistakes that I think ETH, especially like the Ethereum Foundation, has made has been putting some sort of energy, effort, and investment into the world of layer 2s. It's widely known that layer 2s are simply built to make Ethereum better, make it faster, make it cheaper, make it more scalable. And I do understand the value proposition of that. But the reality is that now that you get to a point where there are many layer 2s that are cracking 2 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion, nearly $1 billion worth of market cap, it starts to take away even more market share from ETH. Because even though Ethereum as a whole gets better whenever these layer 2s do provide again more scalability, cheaper fees, etc., ETH's token price does not get better. It actually gets worse because you have less people looking to buy it because there's a reduction in demand as people do, of course, head over to layer 2s. So when you combine the general growth of, competition in the market as well as self-fueled competition, you start to lose a ton of market share. Now, in addition to this, we also have seen a very, very strong lacking of leadership, and it's just the case. I was at Ethereum Denver, or ETH Denver, a couple weeks ago with a good buddy of mine, Cade, and we pulled one very key thing from it. We listened to hours and hours and hours of talks from core members within the ETH community, and there was one common denominator. Everyone felt like there was a massive lack of leadership, not only from Vitalik Buterin, but also from the Ethereum Foundation. They spoke about the fact that Vitalik has lost that same passion and drive that he's had years ago because now he's focused on things like AI and self-learning models, which props to the guy, right? You're a billionaire. You've spent 10, 15 years doing this one thing. If you want to go have fun doing this other stuff, that's fine. But the reality of it is your product is going to suffer like Ethereum has. Now, in addition to that, they also said, as I mentioned before, that the Ethereum Foundation has not really been all that helpful. They've not been active. They've not been setting, enough budgets towards marketing. You never really see ETH getting marketed everywhere like you see Solana or Ripple or whatever. So they don't really have any leadership. There's not really any directive guidance. There's no clear route to go in. And as a result of that, it's hard to keep up with something like a Solana or a Ripple that has those things. And of course, it leads to performance again, like you've been seeing from ETH. And then the very last thing is, quite frankly, not in ETH's control, but there's just a lack of retail investment. We've not been seeing retail investors here. We've not really seen retail come back. We've seen moments whenever Solana jumped off and everyone started buying Solana because of pump fund or whatever, or with XRP when it started growing. We've seen retail interest in XRP, but as a whole in the crypto market, we've not seen retail interest. And without retail interest, something like Ethereum is not going to perform that great because it's not really all that special. It's not that eye-catching to a new crypto investor who's wanting to get in the world of altcoins. And so as a result of that, and you combine that with these other couple things, you're not going to see good performance. And there may be other reasons, but I genuinely believe that as a result of these four key crucial components, Ethereum is just like, this is why. This is the reason it's just not doing that good. And the sad part about it is I don't really see these things getting better. I don't see competition getting better. They could stop fueling the layer 2 narrative, which would be good. Their leadership needs to come back in, and we need to see retail. And without those four things, I just can't see a world in which ETH is going to perform just exceptionally well unless we see institutional investment. One thing that you have to consider, and the reason as to why I'm not selling my Ethereum, I'm just done buying Ethereum, is because of what we've been seeing from institutions. What we've seen from, say, World Liberty Financial is a key representation of the fact that there is institutional interest in ETH. If you don't know who World Liberty Financial is, for example, it's a company that disclosed in January that the Trump family had taken control of the business a couple weeks prior. Now, World Liberty Financial, as I mentioned before, has recently gone out starting a crypto portfolio with $123 million, 52 million of that being Ethereum. So they're buying ETH in droves. They're buying ETH. Nearly 50% of this entire portfolio is only ETH. And so although these things are not great, the only true thing, in my opinion, that can really bring ETH back into the limelight is seeing a ton of institutional interest, which it has seen some of it. It's just not seen a ton recently. And so as a result of all these things, right, as a result of those four key crucial components as to why it's falling, but seeing institutions still somewhat interested, it's the reason why, guys, I'm just not buying anymore right now. I don't see these things getting better anytime soon, right? We need to really see some real progress with these four things before I actually believe that from a foundational and fundamental perspective, Ethereum is getting better and getting more valuable. And so I'm not buying anymore. But I'm not selling any because, quite frankly, even though they don't have these things, again, we've seen institutions excited about Ethereum and buying Ethereum. WLF is just one example. There have been multiple other institutions buying Ethereum. And so because of that, I'm just not selling mine. I'm in a standstill moment. Ethereum makes up roughly 8 to 9% of my total crypto portfolio. And I'm just going to leave it there. If institutions do continue to dabble with it and buy it and grow it, well, then ETH's price might come back at some point and it might see a lot of institution-based growth, just like Bitcoin did. But until we start to see either that happening or we start to see some of those four key components fixed, I'm just not interested in buying it because I think there are better value options out there. I think some of these other cryptos, and realistically, even like a Solana, is just a better buy. I think that realistically, they have many of these things sorted out. They have many of these key problems. Sorry about that. We have many of these key problems sorted out. Like the competition is still there, but there's no self-fueled competition. They have leadership and they are getting retail investment. Now, even though that retail investment might not be good through things like pump fund, they still have it. And that's why I think that it's just a better value opportunity in terms of what I invest my money in. And so at this given point, it's like, look, I do like ETH and I do respect the fact that ETH has done so much to be kind of a pioneer of the altcoin market and to lay a foundation for many of these companies to be able to build on top of. But I'm not going to allow that respect that I have for ETH blind me from the fact that they are consistently losing fundamental value. That is what made it up in the very first place, right? Even if we, and one example I just want to give you, even if we just go ahead and we head over to DeFi Llama, just look, right? Look at ETH's TVL. Consistently dropping, the total value locked, the ecosystem of ETH consistently just not performing that good. DEX volume, although it's up a little bit in comparison to many other things, it's not doing that good. You look at chain revenue, in the gutter, not performing well, and that's a result of chain fees, which is also in the gutter, not doing well. And you can't just say, oh, well, that's because they reduced fees. Yeah, but it should still be doing better, right? With a reduced amount of fees, you should see an increase in transactional volume, and they're just not seeing that. And so because of all these things, you look at the ecosystemic side, you look at the foundation, you look at the fundamentals, the leadership, the marketing, it's just not there. And so I'm not buying anymore. I just don't see the point. The only reason I'm not selling it, and I know I've said it a couple of times, but I do think it's important. The only reason I'm not selling it is because of what we're seeing from institutions, because that might be that very Hail Mary that it needs. in order to get back in the limelight. So that's kind of where I am with ETH. Those are my general thoughts. And I know it's not a very bullish video to make, but again, if you guys ask, you guys know I'll give you my honest truth one way or another. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And I will remind you that if you are someone who is simply just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, maybe you've been struggling, maybe your ETH bag is down, maybe your Bitcoin bag is down, whatever it may be, and you're trying to just go from where you're at to becoming a true, consistent, winning investor, I want you to head to the link down below and I want you to go check out the Crypto Strategy School. At our school, we have a very simple mission. We take crypto investors like yourselves. We give you a ton of value, workshops, classes, coaching, signals, research, deep dives, analysis every single day to help you create real winning strategies, because a strategy is what creates a real winning investor. And the best part about it is it starts as little as $5 a month right now. If you don't see growth just within 12 hours of joining, we'll literally just give you your money back guaranteed. And the link is in the description down below. You can start today. There's only one spot left on the executive tier. I opened up 5 spots a couple days ago and there's only one left. So if that interests you, head to the link down below. Go check that out, because these are going to be changing very, very soon. In addition to that, if you do think the things that I talk about here on the channel are valuable, I will let you know down below. There's another channel, Tyler Teaches Crypto, where I'll be posting only educational content. So feel free to go check that out. And if you are an experienced trader only, no beginners, an experienced trader, there's only 4 days left in which you can go grab some huge thousands of dollars worth of bonuses over on Fimix, which is a platform, one of the easiest platforms that I've ever used to trade on in my life. And I do about 20, 30, 40% of my trading on it every single day. So feel free to go check that out down below. Go grab up some of those bonuses, because again, you only have just over 4 days left to go capitalize on it. But overall, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, please do let me know down below in the comments, and let me know what your thoughts are on ETH. Are you buying ETH? Are you selling it? Are you holding it? Kind of what's your game plan? What's your strategy with it? Let us know down there below, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.